remains your best bet. Be it sport, talk radio, entertainment, and music. One thing is certain, we've got you.
Get ready for the ultimate rendezvous of the sharpest minds.
The shape of the Nigerian state just now has all the capacities and possibilities of birthing in a disastrous and pestilential aqua.
I'm proud of Nigeria despite the challenges. I had an American green card. I gave it up. I'm not excited about it. If I was crazy about it, I would keep my green card and eventually qualify for citizenship.
More than ever before in the history of our nation, this is the worst instability we are facing. In fact, this is
for humanity, society, and the country.
Yes, it's exactly 4 minutes past 11. And on this note, I greet you welcome. It's that platform where we discuss issues, where editors, pen pushers, all right, and as humans. And on this note, I greet you welcome. I'm Joseph Emeribe. And yes, just as we used to have it, and you have always been conversant with regular voices on this platform. Yes, today we will be talking. But we are having a special guest, okay, different from other regular voices. Though it's not new to the platform, we will be discussing security. And we have life, a great privilege.
Discuss only security. And economy. So if on our editors hangout we are discussing security and economy today, we are still on the right path.
Yes, we are on course. Yes, that's the voice of our general manager, Mr. Michael Abiodun Olariwaju. Also have a brother and colleague, Biodun Akimomi. Good morning.
Good morning, Joseph, and good morning to all our listeners.
All right. Yeah, just as we've indirectly, okay, let the bag out of the cart. We are focusing economy and security. And we will talk extensively more on security because we have, yes, an expert in the building who will be sharing perspective with us this great morning. And an ample opportunity to add your voice to these very issues. Yes, in due course, we'll be opening our studio lines for you to make your positions known. Just as we used to say, go straight to the point, as we won't give room to inciting words or abusive languages on the platform. And you are entitled to your opinion. But please, let's try as much as possible to be civil while we choose to make our positions on the platform. The number to send in your reactions via WhatsApp or short messages is 0913 6556 864. 0913 6556 864. Okay, you can also call in due course 0913 6556 952. We are live on all social media handles. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. On YouTube, we are at Diamond FM Ilori. On Facebook, we became known to the public 3 weeks ago. According to sources, members of the terror group initially established camps in some villages bordering Nigeria and Niger Republic, including Gwal, Nagono, Mulawa, Masinya, and Turegiak communities. And they eventually infiltrated Nigeria and set up camps in different communities, especially in Gudu and Tangaza local government areas of Sokoto in 2018. Some leaders of the group, according to credible sources, include Abu Khadija, Abdurrahman Idi, Dadi Gumba, Muhammad Abu, host in the building. Sir, this isn't new to Nigeria. Though I know earlier this month, some individuals were declared wanted. The defense headquarters sent, let's use the word, distress call across Nigeria about the activities and the filtration of this sect. Now, sir, Faustin, how do you see this development?
Thank you so much. This issue of Lukarawas sound familiar in the sense that when you look at their operations and how they came into Nigeria, you discover that they have the same ideology, the same way Boko Haram entered into the country, and they just help in defending their territories. But the fact now remains that the problem we're having in Nigeria is this our so much believe in religious family and stuff that I think we are of the same religious belief. So when they come, they unknown to them, that this particular set of people, they have their own religious idea that is quite different from the normal Islamic one we know here.
Wow.
But because they say, and according to the story we had also, that they speak different languages, according to them, they say, put it that way. You can imagine from Niger Republic, we have a lot of people, you know, coming into Nigeria, not really that they don't know what to do, but they believe that we are the same. Let us give them some space to...
All right. I'll get back to you, but I want neighboring countries outskirts of Nigeria. And does this also speak to the light that our borders are not well secured as it should be?
Thank you, Joseph. What really happened is that if you look at the background checks on the Lukarawas, it's just a composition of the Tuaregs, Arabs. You find out that most of these Lukarawas, they have been given sophisticated weapons, and some of them have been mobilized with a lot of dollars in order to be able to actually infiltrate other areas. But because of the instability, especially with the coup in Niger Republic, most of them were supposed to be used in the instability of trying to bring in the deposed president of Niger. But they too had another sect within the sect that are religious fanatics.
All right.
You get the point there.
All right, sir.
So these religious fanatics started regrouping, retraining.
All right.
You have sophisticated weapons. They had money. So definitely their intention was to create a state within the state. The porous border of Nigeria allows them to just move into the country freely. So it means Nigeria needs to strengthen the security at the border.
All right. Well, unattended. 2. It's still the Editors Hangout, reaching you live and direct from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
Ìfẹ́ mi, ṣé ẹ ti ṣe tán?
Kí láti lọ gba abẹ́rẹ́ ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí ẹ̀.
Abẹ́rẹ́ wa ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí tí gbogbo ẹbí ni kì í ṣètò ìyá nìkan.
Òótọ́ ló sọ, ṣé bí ìtò lè gún fúnra ẹni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, kò dẹ̀ dùn mí, kò ṣe mí bíi pé mo lò nǹkan kan rárá nígbà tí mo lò ń gbà yẹn.
Ó ṣe wá ń lọ nísìnyí nígbà tó ti gbà tẹ́lẹ̀.
Abẹ́rẹ́ kan máa gbé ẹ fóṣù 3. Ó dẹ̀ ti dóṣù 3 tá a ti lọ kẹ́yìn. Ṣá lè máa lọ báyìí ṣá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, jẹ́ ká máa lọ ìfẹ́ mi.
Olówó orí mi nìyẹn.
Láti lo abẹ́rẹ́ tá à ń gún fara ẹni ti ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí yìí nígbà alákọ̀ọ́kọ́, lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn tó súnmọ́ ọ jù fún ìgbaninímọ̀ràn. Ṣèwádìí nípa àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí tó wà. Wà lórí Airtel.
And many more. Search no further. Diamond Amusement Park, located at Plot 2 New Yidi Road, Ilorin, is where you get those. We've got pendulum, carousels, rocket launcher, roller coaster, Oculus Quest, swimming pool, table tennis, bumper car, swing, seesaw, horse merry-go-round, slides.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond887FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
Are the relevant authorities doing to check on the excesses and activities of this terror group? You listening can be a part of the conversation. 0913-6556-864 is the number to send in your reactions via WhatsApp and text messages. Also, you can call in via 0913-6556-9. They came in stylishly to through our borders, and now they're turning to a terror group before us. Who do we blame for these kind of activities? No, we are still trying to fix, the threat and the challenges posed by Boko Haram. We are still being tormented by the terror group Boko Haram. Now we are having this. Who do we blame?
I think we should, because of their own security. Everything that asks from to the country around them would definitely affect them. Why do you think Russia went to war with Ukraine? Because people that are in Kharkiv and some places that are close to the border with Russia, know that if that place is affected by US, it will affect their security. Do you know how many billions of dollars they are spent on make sure that those people that are close to Russia? Now, look at the current war you are having presently in Israel and Palestine.
Yes.
Now, Hamas has been there for a long time. But during the time of Yasser Arafat, they were not be able to have link with Al-Qaeda. Yasser Arafat died now. They have link with terrorists like Hezbollah, Iran. Look at the threat they are having to Israel now. what is the function of the councillor in that region? What is the function of the chairman? Talk of the governor. Now they are not a big problem. So now that's why I look security is local.
It's local.
Until we teach it, we take as long that is local, we will not have any effort. Now where I'm going in this, we are in charge of ECOWAS or something like that. Yes. What are we doing to secure our borders? Now we have problem in Niger, we have problem in Chad. Definitely we affect Nigeria.
That maybe as the next issue, we'll discuss that more holistically. But I don't know. My elder statesman, looking at this from this other prism, we all understand that those are the positions. No, isn't it high time for us to come up and adopt this community policing structure? Though the police will say they have it already, they interface with maybe the vigilante group and some other sect. But isn't it high time for us to be more proactive? Because as it is now, it's not an issue.
No, I mean, I've not completed my statement.
All right, not an issue.
No, I mean, I've not completed my statement.
All right.
It's an issue that only security agencies handle. This issue has gotten too deep than what we just talked about, community policing and the rest of them. Before community can police themselves, there must be a standing protection from the government. For example, those borders we're talking about that are porous, that these people infiltrate.
Yes.
How many are Nigerians, are true Nigerians that are inhabiting those geographical areas we call the Northwest, that are real Nigerian, that the government is ready to provide for? And what is provision from the government, security and welfare? Now, when we have about Nigerian about 100, then foreigners who speak the same language with us, about 150. And they'll be calling themselves Nigerian. But when push becomes they fight, or they now tell us they are not from Nigeria.
Not Nigerians.
We should know the number of people we have in those areas. We should provide for the porosity of our borders across, not only Northwest, across Nigeria. We should be those borders should be well protected. Then this is our big brother attitude of saying that we are Nigeria, so anybody can come here. We see people, what you cannot do in another person's country,
you're doing it
they
here.
will come here and do it. Recently, police arrested some Chinese. What measure did they put in there? What did they do? Even when they believe that they are there to protect them, when they're supposed to call the people to ask questions?
All right. Yes, sir. Please, let's quickly marry this call before you proceed with your thoughts. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Threatening that border to provide security with that border. That is number one. And number two is that we need to decentralize all our security apparatus. We are calling governor the chief administrative officer, security officer of the state. They don't have any power even over the commissioner of police.
Thank
so
you so
we need to decentralize this security up to the level of our traditional rulers.
Give them the evidences to show them that actually they are the people causing the weapons are being sold to them from other countries. So the same thing that is happening here. Some of our men here will collect contract on supplying the military weapons. They will not want this issue to stop because that will put a stop to their own incomes and their own businesses. Then the military or the other people, sorry to mention the military, other security agencies, too, that this thing are supposed to be given to their people on the field fighting. They too will contribute some of the incentives.
tí gbogbo ẹbí ni kì í ṣètò ìyá nìkan.
òótọ́ ló sọ ṣé bí ìtò lè gún fúnra ẹni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kò dẹ̀ dùn mí kò ṣe mí bíi pé mo lò ń kankan rárá nígbà tí mo lò ń gbà yẹn.
ó ṣe wá ń lọ nísìnyí nígbà tó ti gbà tẹ́lẹ̀.
abẹ́rẹ́ kan máa gbé ẹ fóṣù mẹ́ta ó dẹ̀ ti dóṣù mẹ́ta tá a ti lọ kẹ́yìn ṣáà lè máa lọ báyìí ṣá.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni jẹ́ ká máa lọ ìfẹ́ mi.
fara ẹni tí ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí yìí nígbà alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn tó.
One step dial.
Arawa terror sect, fomenting troubles in northwestern Nigeria with a special focus on Sokoto and Kebbi. These sects are reportedly having their camps in about 10 communities over these states, as mentioned. We know so much.
What do they know? What do they not do about security? I want to tell you something. In America today, as big as they are, their borderline, you cannot just enter anywhere. They are able to coordinate this borderline with barbed wire, with all the building sectors, let me tell you. And you have the immigration officer across the place. So what do? You policing. Yes, like all this refinery, they don't spend money on national. You are holding money. They spend more money on
All right. Thank you so much. That's much you can take from your end, Mr. Rotimi from Oro. Before switch the mics to is still the number to reach us this great morning. Oh yes, Mao. Before our dear experts here speaks, please let's have this call again. Hello, your life. Your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. This is Aina.
Mr. Aina.
Yeah.
All right, please. 30 seconds.
Please, I want to comment the guest in the studio.
All right.
We see every state.
Can you do us a favor by an agency of government saddled with the responsibility to keep our borders safe? What are they doing? And what do you suggest they do differently to fix and to make our borders more secured?
He had good security. Team of things. They are no more in charge. That is when the insecurity started stemming in. Then Nigerians have to be patriotic.
Okay.
We have to rise above ethnic sentiments. Then our security men at the border, terrorists entering into the country.
All right. Sincerely, for sake of time, we'll be closing in on this side of the conversation. Though maybe towards the end of the whole thing, we'll give the mics to our senior colleague here to talk about security. No, I want you. I'm coming your way. Okay, yes, to talk about
read ministry that before you preach you have a license. So look around, that's what part of where they infiltrate all these areas. So how can someone just come from another country and be preaching and you cannot do it in any other countries now? For you to go and preach in another, you have to get a license, and so I think we have to regular institutions too. These are part of where they entertain a lot of these people. That's why they change their mentality. So I think we need to work on that.
On it. All right. You know, you were saying something about the IMF and other world powers. That's why I want now security. No, because it's when you're secured, you can go to farm to cultivate your land and to do other things where we have enough food to eat. Now, do you think the world powers, maybe the United Nations, African Union, and the rest of it, are doing enough security-wise?
They cannot do more than what they are doing, and you cannot expect them to do more than this, because in one way or the other, they are benefiting from the issue that we have in the African continent. That's why I expect countries like Nigeria to that you advise us. They cannot give us good advice that will affect us, because once they know that Africa, we are able to come of age, we will not borrow money from them again.
All right, let's have this call. Hello, your life.
Yeah, this Rotimi calling back.
All right,
all we have been discussing. Let me tell you, for all we have been, corruption is the one clean us. This is the problem. People enter with bribery. It's not citizens of Nigeria, it gives them all
are not speaking enough. That is why what we are facing at the moment, people see it as a woe, as something that they can't really endure with. IMF is kind of recommending, let our leaders interface more, let there be more communication for people to adopt what is happening at the moment. That is the summary of what I see on their report. Let me come with Mao. Please, I'll get back to our senior colleague here, but I want Mao. I know you are well read in terms of international diplomacy and policy. Now, looking at the IMF, I know you always spoken ill about them, but with this report from them, how do you see?
Face devaluation, and that was the beginning of the problem we are in now till today.
Till now,
it will surprise you that even when General Sani Abacha came to power, he reduces the neo-colonization policy. He refuses to dance to the tune of IMF. And then the economy was not as bad as this. Later on, if you look able to actually go against the wish of IMF, and most countries of the world, especially the Asian countries that adopted the programs of IMF, especially from 1890s, most of them almost collapsed. Mexico tried it. Mexico became a failed nation. So our leaders should actually learn from history. They should be able to know what is good for their people. They should be concerned about the welfare of their nation.
That our leaders should come out more, right? For people to reason in the same light, so that people can see the light at the end of the tunnel. As an elder statesman, can you see the light at the end of the tunnel with all the policies, programs, and plans of IMF for Nigeria and the black race?
Thank you. What I can see from my own layman person when it comes to the issue of monetary and the rest of them policies, Nigerians have been indebted to the IMF for so be the head of that in any moment soon. So I am not seeing anything different that this government will do when it comes to the issue of this imbroglio of IMF and the rest of them. The only thing I can just say is that we should continue to pray. That's what people.
We should continue to
when
pray.
there is no place to dump it, we say pray.
Let's pray.
But as far as we are concerned, there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, but it might not be as fast,
as speedy
as we want it. But at least at the end of the day, Nigeria has this. I can say we have everybody has their own personal interest. We put the fog of the people in front of us. The moment we cross it, it becomes our own personal
individual interest.
Our leaders should call them, they don't pick your calls. Somebody was saying in those State the other day that we have voted, we have collected our money, and there was no crime. There was
crime.
To her, she believed that is what she can do. So until such a time. And when you look, somebody was always saying something like the other day. We are complaining about corruption, like what Mr. Rotimi said. The people waiting to be corrupt are even more than the people that are already corrupt. So that is all the problem. We just pray that at the end of the day, it is optimism.
All right.
That we should have.
We should keep being optimistic about Nigeria. Yes, our time is really not our friend, but I need Mr. Kiwumi to quickly add his voice to this issue. Maybe before then, let's have this call. Hello, we're live.
Hello, Baba Mao, that I like those countries that has followed IMF instructions and where they found themselves, and those that refused it, and we saw what they have done.
All right.
How on earth will you tell us to remove subsidy without alternative input? We are now moving from a subsidized economy to a palliative economy. We see where we are. Where are we going in the next 5 years? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We sincerely appreciate it. I have to quickly take this message while we call it a day on the program. Yes, this is coming from Abdul Kudus Biala from... It's almost on all news tabloid. The amount of monies president is choosing to go borrow again, going in the tones of almost 2 trillion naira. All of this, how do you say it? Is it possible for Nigeria to be out of the gahoos of the IMF? Is it possible?
We still have a long way to go because Obasanjo tried to pay some of those loans. And it's a pity that we cannot follow IMF and we expect a good result. It was this IMF during Abacha regime, there was a lot of sanction about Nigeria. So they are blaming Abacha of corruption, and it is countries that collect diluted funds from Abacha. So there's nothing that they can advise us. But the best I can advise the government is the schools. A student that paid 55,000 naira when he entered, it's 100 level, he's paying 100,000 naira.
100 plus.
100 plus. So what we move subsidy. Because government don't want to do anything again. And as the person that called, we are moving from a subsidy economy to a palliative economy. So I think our government should have a rethink.
Our time is fast spent.
Anywhere in the world, government will subsidize. I need this to go back. If you cannot subsidize fuel, because that or that thing, maybe education, maybe health, food.
Just advise that the government, while trying to fight insecurity, should also fight the insecurity of the security agencies.
Should fight the insecurity in the security agencies. You're leaving us with a parable. Maybe after now we'll have to fix this. What is the insecurity with our security agencies? All right, Mr. Kiwumi.
Well, I would advise Nigerians to keep the hope flying. As Mr. Kalami said, at the end of the, there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
There will be light at the end of the tunnel. So we should not lose hope about this country. And I would advise our leaders to be sincere and make sure that they provide succor for Nigerians. God bless Nigeria. God bless you. For a better Nigeria. Since we started the conversation, special thanks to our. Yes, we'll be back again to do what we love doing. Same time, same station. Next week. Good morning.
ìfẹ́ mi ṣé ẹ ti ṣe tán.
ṣé láti lọ gba abẹ́rẹ́ ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí ẹ̀.
abẹ́rẹ́ wa ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí tí gbogbo ẹbí ni kì í ṣètò ìyá nìkan.
òótọ́ ló sọ ṣé bí èyí tó lè gún fúnra ẹ ni.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kò dẹ̀ dùn mí kò ṣe mí bíi pé mo lò nǹkan kan rárá nígbà tí mo lò ń gbà yẹn.
ó ṣe wá ń lọ nísìnyí nígbà tó ti gbà tẹ́lẹ̀.
abẹ́rẹ́ kan máa gbé ẹ fóṣù mẹ́ta ó dẹ̀ ti dóṣù mẹ́ta tá a ti lọ kẹ́yìn ṣáà lè máa lọ báyìí ṣá.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
lọ́ní máa gbọ́ òbítíbitì èrò níbi tí àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí jàǹkànjàǹkàn yóò ti máa fi orin fawọ́ Ọlọ́run sọ̀kalẹ̀ tí àwọn ènìyàn sì máa rí ìgbédìde gbà lójú ẹsẹ̀. Evangelist Dr.